Non kotu era one radio Samupe Jumpe dietia Timothy non kotu era one radio Oh Ayum pamchuma Chimtu Asam pamchuma Chimtu Ekratum chuma Era one
for a better when Yamia send so am I Quenya yet to a financial discussion so era one. Near tier for the Bia Moya Stona Mutie Mumu Yachakakra. I know you put you together, send a bay any programs a bit to me Abuamo Namoni Ajaho. Now your feedback be brave every year tier for her. Now Nano. We want to focus on investment. Comments about interest. Yento was in discussing investment. Then breaking it down. Send a bayana ubibia to me at year. And it's your best SSB no sharp. Frewunuabi now on also so NTB. And also be to me as send the link and I'm a win. Be known so at discussion because and it's Sabre made in check as here if your director hold Dr. State to 2. I one your director no na or Buama programming na to me akoswo na eneso so nyameda Roma Mr. Benediction I also the finance the we dream pa o mama professor crowd of finance ya me so say keseneke fata and ntino ye beda ono so ase so the I abeta yumadi yachi na your Dr. Uwa also so about joining shortly. Said it down there. No. And you know, Adam was on Mutie and a day. And you best start a financial discussion on investment. And then you to America, you better your boss and you're breaking it down. Send your bayan. This is a question now or commenter. Over to me at the back chat and so now all the comments number. And also to me afraid director the number never to line so send your bay now to me afraid. Now also so question I want also comment about the items that you discuss a bit to me abwa now also so what to me any and you know see why I Mrs. What my professor of finance crank me can tell is a why finance who you might actually year and you know sadly, yeah, become investment in the edition. But so the echo. Now, if I say what so now, what can't be be about investment, what it is. Send a penny a tier for a bit, and then young player who I think say you best stay investment for maybe 3 weeks to cry. And you know, you best say in a tier for the TFC because that's the comment. Say, say, yeah, I'm on TFC. And until you're breaking it down. And in the national investment, what are we talking about? Investment, the idea. Ubiquity say, also investment, they cry you could be. Also, say a town is named investment. You know, say investment, so you find out until wait to me as Tatina or the Yako, not in jumping.
Oh, okay. I penny some say, and yes, I am. Yet for now, so acquire by say a kind investment, a topic, Debbie and all can create a whole lot of confusion. A war, Nipano, Adjunimo. Now, say the last time you share, you can't wait one seminar. You try say you bet breaking it down now. You know the difference between savings and investment. One of the things I'm fancy yeah Ghana for no yeah nyade or and they say you be invested. And even if we do say invest at the end now or china you per se you like 50% return and I say yeah the idea no a double like right away. But based on the previous year and yeah who said there is a difference between say me save for a purpose, and the purpose maybe it could be say me save right now for emergency cases be a besi wo me fie. I have a car, the car breaks down. Me pesika bi na me dey repair. I'm saving towards that. Ebi o ha mpesa me to dan, me here down payment. I'm saving towards that. There are different things that we all save for. However, when we talk about investment, investment, there were 3 different stages. There was short term, mid term, and long term. The whole idea, say ye nan ye be pe bibi kakra de ato ho ne say nyame ya adom after say ya ye adwuma na wie no, we need to retire. And some retire wie a kwan ben na me as an individual na say kwan ben and as a busua no ye betumi atena se na yenya a source of income bi a ebeboa ye na etumi sustain and during retirement, Into investment, it's to me, and I said to us, it's like a long-term idea we are looking into. It's not like somebody next month, but the idea has to be said, this thing has to be for a long term. If we say market, but say a long term one, yes, a coffee one, a bear affect me, but say chance one, maybe may repeat the benefits, as we look at it, we need to look at it from a long term perspective. And one of the things, people ask the questions, why do I even have to invest? But we also need to think, no, sir, investment is also another stream or source of income because enye de bia na ye be 9 to 5 adwuma ye hwe Bill Gates no ye hwe Trump no ye hwe all these people enye sika nyina, and yes they have businesses but adia nso aboa omo omo tumi anya more sika investment omo ye eso abama omo. Intina yeshe na nkran say nothing is too small. Ketua bi a ukra bia no fatu bibi baby a ebeboa na de sika kakra nso abeka ho na ma usika wo de kwoto ho no enye adwuma ma na emoa in the future. Kakra mekan no, as we go on, maybe we'll dig deeper into it.
Yeah. There's here we was pa things said you actually and what the abafem pa my am a tier for atias here. On say what differentiates between investment and savings. Said you okay, and normally when we are saving money, the purpose here said we want to preserve the capital. Capital on the main focus, Sesikano Enira. But investment there, you are expecting a return, you are expecting profit, you are expecting say there will be a gain. And you are looking for long-term perspective. And she did actually there are a tier for things a tier for better here. Investment and yet it's not like an animal, a financier and she share get it all year to a quemu. Send your banner with Sikana when and I say, well, Japadiano, which me are benefiting in the future. And yet, as a party, Dr. I think several drivers may have one or two things you want to say about investment. You are welcome to do so.
Oh yeah, I park at the side so I can join you guys and have a conversation. I think, sir, brother Ebenezer, the Okano, is very important. The whole purpose of investment, I think, sir, I would say we have to understand why we are investing money. Right? I always bring this topic up. Why do you want to invest the money? What is your overall objective? Right? As Brother Etienne mentioned earlier, right? You need to have a short-term, a mid-term, and a long-term plan. Investment is mostly designed for the long-term plan, right? For example, as he mentioned, none of us want to work 9 to 5 or work for the rest of our lives. At some point in life, you want to be able to make sure that you have money that's working for you, right? And when you want to invest, there's so many things you can invest in, but you also to understand what is my objective of investing, right? And that's why I also want to emphasize a point. The major difference between investing and saving is that when you are saving money, right, if you are not saving the money, so you are saving the money and also protecting the money away from risk, right? You are not expecting any return on your investment. So at the same token, you are not expecting your money to be able to be lost due to an investment performance, right? But when you invest money now, you are investing with ideas, say you want to earn a return on your investment, right? Meaning, say you are willing to accept some risk so that your money can grow. You cannot invest money and say, I want to invest money, but I also don't want any risk. They don't work well together. When you invest money now, you are also assuming a level of risk, right? So there's a major importance on difference between savings and investment, right? Now, I mentioned short-term, mid-term, and long-term investment. Most investments are designed for what? The long term, right? Because why? We need those investments later on in our lives when we are retired and are not making sufficient income. We need to be able to have enough money that's working for us so we don't have to work for money, right? And your short-term savings can be your emergency fund, maybe 0 to 3 months or 0 to 6 months, right? Hey, in case something happened to me, I have this money here, right? That money could be invested or it could be simply saved in an account where there is no risk. Or you can divide that part of that money to go into your savings, and part of that money could go into a much more conservative investment. The short-term investments, let's say maybe 0 to 3 years, those investments is advisable to put them in a less riskier investment portfolio. But the long-term 5, 10, 15, 20-year investments, those can be more put in aggressive portfolios. And another thing I also want to emphasize is that you have to understand your level of risk or your investor DNA or typology, right? Because some people are aggressive investors, some people are conservative investors, and some people are moderate investors. So you have to understand what kind of investor you are. And that's going to also determine or dictate what kind of investments you put your money into. You don't just jump into investments. You do it step by step by first figuring out what you want to achieve and what your investment objective is and what kind of investor are you, right? So as we progress on with the conversation, we're going to get deeper and deeper into what kind of investments can suit a particular individual and what they are looking for. So that's what I want to add.
Okay, Dr. Why you better say also perspective on investment. And in near percent tier 4 at the definition I say send a bay and I say building on investment a bit easier for them to catch up. And said investment, you are looking for some kind of returns. And our returns now so it comes with risk in this money now. And yet tier 4 said investment, is not the same as savings. Savings, the focus on here say you want to the principal that's a who save you. That is you want to make sure say my $1,000 is safe. I can get my $1,000 anytime I want. And in normally some people put it into their savings account. Bank. And at that while you are not going to earn any significant returns. It requires 0.000 whatever percent. But your principal is capital is always intact. You can always get it anytime that you want. So that is separate from investment. The investment you are looking for some kind of returns. You just want to make sure say capital now is saved. In addition to that, you are also going to get some kind of returns. In the probably the definition of an investment as we are discussing. And now say so they want us to take them through the process of investing. Send a process of investing. Send a what they need to do. So when should I invest? What should I invest in? How should I invest? Those are the questions that people are asking. say a kwambe no be fast or be invested, because there are so many people they don't even know where to start from. Now Obi send a message, you know, say he had $10,000 in the person's checking account. So and you know what to say, we see he invested. And you know, what is the process? How the person go about it? And now you have the definition of investment. You know, the next question that comes in is say, when should a person invest? Is there a timeline? Investing process that the person should invest? If there's a question that people are asking.
Yeah, I think so. You know, before we even get to that question, you know, there are some fundamental principles especially being Ghanaians, you know, and I say Africans, and as whoever is listening, you know, I say yes, investment is good. We are encouraging ourselves to invest. But sometimes, you know, because we confuse ourselves into, you know, I get tired of within maybe like 6 months or a year, we need that money. No? What to do. So before we get into the fact, the question sometimes may address should I even invest? And I say, Memphis canon found to hopefully. Also, say young clarify say sending a walking will be what $10,000 right now. Or the year investment. But the question maybe I say this now no. So what is 10,000 who got tied up into investment? CCSA no. For example, maybe you have a house. BBA break it down in the house. Do you have Sikabia, which means the ISR person? And now say you fall on credit cards. You have a car, will drive. The car breaks down right now. Do you have Sikabia Daha, which means the repair? And now say you fall on credit cards. So the answer no yes, sir. I don't have anything else apart from that 10,000. I don't want a daho. CCSA no. So BBC a may a year. Then the recommendation will be maybe you don't need to invest now, but maybe my way no any like an emergency fund. You confuse so many things into your baby, you know. We see a sika question baby. Never the sika na and ye. As we show how, when, and all that, the perspective for so TSS, I see who send Dr. What kind of planning, I see who said me was a bit that and why emergency fund I can fall on it for emergency purposes. And a sika way there, no one journal that like I don't need it now. Without Sikano, I can still survive for maybe like a year. Or even 6 months, or even if that's the case, then let's put it somewhere higher. Before we get into that, and I wanted to bring this up.
Yeah, I think the what you said is very important. It's in there. You need to spend time and talk about the fundamentals. Yes. Before they invest, what they need to do fundamentally. Mm-hmm. How do they get themselves prepared? How do they get themselves ready for investment? Because they issues different. Yes. So they we need to get the hope for repairs. And maybe let's spend time and talk about that side so that after say a tier for groundwork, then we can talk about the investment processes. I think I like what you said. They're very important.
Yeah. I mean, here's the thing, right? Investment, we all know it's a very, very important topic, but it's also a very broad topic, right? As I mentioned earlier, there are many things you can invest your money in, right? You don't rush into investments. You invest with time and knowledge and insight, right? And I always want to refer back to the Bible, right? It tells us that in all thy getting, get understanding, right? You have to know where your base is. As Brother Ebenezer mentioned, right? You might have $10,000, $1,000 in the bank, and you hear about, oh, somebody tell you about some investment. You know, I get a call all the time. Hey, you know, Doc, somebody, one of my friends told me about this investment, and I have $1,000 sitting in the bank. I want to go invest. And my question always is this: is that $1,000 the only money that you have available or liquid? Right? Because a lot of investments are not liquid, meaning when you put your money into those investments, if you need to get your money out, it's going to take an exorbitant amount of time to be able to get that money out. Like real estate, if you put your money into real estate investments, if you fall on hard times, to get that money out in that real estate, right? The process can be 3, 6, sometimes 5 months to be able to get that money out, right? So those may not be a good investment for a particular kind of person, right? But the key is what? First, sit down and do your planning. Figure out your financial fitness. Do your budget, right? See what amount of money you have coming in. What kind of debts do you have, right? You know, how are you paying your debts? What kind of interest rates are you paying on your debts if you have any debts? Because think about it. When you're investing money, right, as we mentioned earlier, you are investing with the desire of a return on your investment, right? But sometimes you might have a credit card that you're paying maybe 28%, 25%, 20% on that credit card. You might have, let's say, a $10,000 balance on that credit card, right? You're going to be in debt for a very long time because your interest rate is so high. What investment can you find that can consistently pay you 20, 30, 15% return? So sometimes it may not be advisable or wise to just go jump into an investment. It may be more advisable to take some time and also put that money towards your debt so you can eliminate that debt, because that is a guaranteed rate of return back into your pocket, right? So you have to be very mindful about what you're investing money in, but always, always, always at the base is, what do I have? Am I financially fit to be able to invest money, right? And how do you find that out? You sit down, you do a budget. What are my income and what are my expenses? And do they give me enough room to be able to invest money? Am I going to invest one time lump sum, or maybe am I best to be able to invest on a consistent, like a monthly basis, right? So it all starts with your planning and knowing where to start and where you are. Please, I want to emphasize once again, investments is very exciting, but don't jump into investments without properly planning and seeing how fit you are financially. Not everybody can invest money, right? Investments can be a blessing for somebody, but it can be a curse for somebody else because of how prepared you are or you may not be, right? So please always, always, always start with a budget first and see where you are, right? Because maybe the income that you're making may not be enough for you to be able to go invest money. You might have a little bit of savings in your account. If you go invest all that money, when you fall on hard times, now what you're going to do? You're going to go back and now disturb that investment account, and you are now completely going backwards into what you wanted to achieve, right? So I really want to emphasize that point.
Okay, Dr. Wai, better I say, like I say, if Sambia made the Bafam Kakrama Tifwa, what you're saying is that before they even think about investment, they need to do their homework. They need to say Ombashe or Musika Munoma who said, do I have room? Ewo Misika Minyamu send your benefit to my investment. We shouldn't invest without doing those analysis. So in your opinion, before they even think about investment, they need to consider budgeting. So my budget here, more expenses or more income. Also, Ghana for
Absolutely.
Normally, we have people back home that they depend on or brother or sister or parents or they are all depending on you. And before you even invest, you need to account for those people as well, because they will be asking for money. Your parents will be asking for money. You will be asking, and make sure say before you invest, why put you some money in place for those people, and sana what thinking about the investment. I think that is what you are planning. That's what you're trying to say. Send your benefit TF4, but they shouldn't jump into investment without doing. Okay.
Absolutely, yes.
Okay. Is there anything that people have to
Yeah, I'm sorry.
the introduction, the basic.
Yeah, I'm sorry. I'm not back on no. Friends, I'm not. It's a different old mention, sir. Yeah, no. Yesika honjo. Sir. Yesika is always like there's something I see at Yesika. And you rightly said, if you for they are looking to us. I mean, who are unexpected nyoma bebre ni ade ebesi. Enti, I'm saying the conclusion you draw right now, as an individual, or if you are a family, yes, we are encouraging say you best set some money aside. However, no, we need to have a plan. We need to have a budget. Not budget, you're taking into consideration families back home. You're taking into consideration your expenses. You're taking into consideration your school. Maybe your through the age. Soon they'll be getting to going to college. The question is, are we prepared for when they get to college? Medimisika koto your friends stocks right now. Next year, me back college. Do I go cash it out to pay for the college? And now say, many two separate. Into having a budget in place and knowing, say, okay, at the end of it, this is the excess income Rebecca. After knowing, say, all these expenses are taken care of, we have set aside some emergency funding for emergency purposes. Nina is accounted for in the budget. Then this is the excess. Without Sasika, we can still survive. Then it gives me that comfort level. After all the expenses are taken care of, I have $50 SSR. I don't even need it. I can live without it. If I can live without it, then that's when I begin to think about, let me do some sort of investment to bring some higher yield to that $50 in our account. Maybe it would be able to me at $10, maybe a bit to me at $100, a bit to me. But until we put all that in place, our recommendation is don't rush into it.
Yeah, I think yeah, they're kind of very important. Yeah, usually we want to rush into investment, and at the end, we need to also know how certain income source is. Maybe we see the source of income, maybe we are human. We are a seasonal job. We human a long term, and your source of baby we have seek a friend. Na irregular, meaning say especially more adwuma we were adwuma you can make 10,000. There are some months you end up losing 2,000 unya sika bia until your source of income also play a role we say ubetuma invest and say untimi invest and until say yetimi how certain income is income source that me so aboy ti say na many nyina online na say ni many nyina sisi so and no na ibetimi start investment because say na many sisi so you cannot invest because you can say the kind and honyo sika ne honyo you put the money into the stock market now the next 2 months was I want my money back now kwa withdraw no at that point maybe because stock market na confirm it you end up losing money and that was very important. Dr. Why you want to say something? Maybe episode can be become
Yeah, and also, I think that our people, especially in the African community, because we don't have a very strong understanding about investments and how investments work. A lot of times when we jump into the investments, or at least in my experience, right, no matter how much time you take to try to break things down and explain things to your clients, it's like they want to jump into investments so quickly that they overestimate or they overlook what you explain to them, that the market goes up and down, right? So as soon as they invest the money, right, and the market go down, they are panicking. But they forget, say, you told them and explained to them, say, the market goes up and it goes down. And just because it goes down, it doesn't mean, say, you have lost it. It just means that the value of your account is down, right? So we have to be very, careful before we jump in. Say, let's listen to the information and make sure, say, we ask questions and we understand what the advisor is saying before we jump in, because it doesn't make any sense to invest the money and then let's say the next month the money go down and then I thought said my money is going to grow and grow and grow. That's not how investment works. There's no guaranteed investments in this world, right? So I think said we have to be very attentive to make sure said the information now, we thoroughly understand said investments are always going to be associated with risk. Now the question is, what is the level of risk that the particular investment is associated with? And let's be very mindful to say we know exactly what we are getting ourselves into, and we are not making those irrational decisions. So I want to add.
Yeah, and Memphis Kakranka on your friend say.
Yeah.
One of the things like African communities we are prone to do and say, we don't do our research. On say investment is not something like Obia Shada Kohun school and no what degree. Na friend like an investment your friend say analyst and that's or not to one consultant near there. And na yen so no yepese ya zoom sa nipa no role no. Until most of the times we just jump into things without even researching what I'm getting myself into. And I give a typical example. Recently, Ghana, this year, a springy out baby, almost a microfinance, then be a springy out baby, Ghana near there. I know a lot of people, they even took loans here. Echo at the Koshemu Ghana. Because yes, your mom mass 30-40% interest rates in the idea Ghana. They did that. As we speak right now, a lot of these
every month.
Yeah, a lot of these companies no fold do and like what could you loan? You get yourself into this, you lose Nipano, Ghana and so there, and just say you didn't Nipana court system nimuna. Ghana, see, I said, Nipana, well, fold, they are back to square one. So, at year 4, the year can say, we want to encourage us, say, any investment. However, before you get into it, do your homework, do the research. So, if you don't have any idea about it, consult a special obia or one na on trial. And ma obi a oti baby a onni anything now so what and me kwaya the way is good so kwaya bi no also de ho akwakwashem maybe a work for sanipa no but one obey the unfortunate one so we are encouraging us before we get into investment and all this let's do our homework, do a research, educate ourselves and make sure sir is it a reputable company? Say just in case something should happen, I'll get something back.
Yeah, on the all kind, very important. Most of the time we rush into investment. Market no cry investing in. Once maybe a kind about the American economy, rule of law, and so na Ghana, no be catch them say Ghana investment be a crab. Now they give you 28% every month on your investment. So that means it says all the $1,000 echo to what you are going to get $280 every single month. And I mean we say now say the panel no amount $28 a month Then where is that person investing the person's money in order to make that 28%? And sometimes investments and we tend to be greedy. Greediness and also a problem for us. And also so before say a invest sikano. We need to make sure that we are content with whatever we have. Say, and yes, sir, now see become too greedy. We rush into investment and we lose all our money. And in Ghana, number one issue ni buy nipa bebre said you can afford it up. Ama nipa bebre sika nyina because people were greedy. Because of say interest rate now is so high. It is say it me access environment now. You invest sika send a very sika.
Yeah, boss.
Dr.
Yeah, we are here talking about folding in Ghana. What about folding right here in America? People are here going to the bank, taking out big loans to go invest in all things they don't even understand. You never go borrow loan just to go invest in an investment that you don't understand, right? All the time I have people from different organizations that will call me, or especially like the older generation, they'll call me, oh, my friend told me about this Bitcoin. I took some money, I want to go invest in it. What do you think? And sometimes they've already invested in it. They gave the money to somebody to go invest in it, and then they're calling me to ask me for my opinion, right? And I've seen clients who have lost 50,000, 80,000, 20,000, and I always ask them, before you went to go invest in it, did you take counsel? Did you take advice? Who did you speak to? Oh, my friend from my church. Think about it. What does the Bible tell us about the blind leading the blind? You see what I'm saying? So we have to be very careful who we are taking advice from. If you're taking advice from somebody who's struggling, you will get advice that is coming from somebody that's struggling. You have to take advice from somebody who has reached a place that you are trying to reach. Not somebody who just heard something on the street and just did it, so now you go do it too. As Brother Esedu mentioned, greed can get us into a lot of trouble, right? Because think about it. If somebody's paying you 28% every single month, what are they earning on their own investments to be able to pay you that thing consistently? And ask yourself, is that really reasonable and is that really possible every single month? Don't you think at some point that person can fold because you're not the only person that you're paying that thing to? So whatever they're investing in, they are hoping that every month, they will get what they need so that they will give you that 28% return. So always think deep about what you are hearing and see, does this thing make sense for the short term and for the long term? Maybe for the short term, a few months, okay, fine. But for 5, 6, 10, 15 years, is this thing possible? Right? Not just in Africa, even here in America, there are all these companies that start, they guarantee people all these different returns, and within a matter of a couple of years, they go out of business. And now all your money is gone. So you're now started over. Now have you lost that money? You are now in debt because you want to go borrow that money from the bank. So it's a double whammy, right? So you are now put yourself back in trouble again. So always once again, be very, very, that's why we are spending so much time to continue to talk about the basics, right? I'm not even in a hurry to jump into what to invest in. I want to drill into people that don't rush. Understand why you are investing and why you are investing. Not because your friend or your family member say, go invest in this, but you yourself have taken the time to properly understand what you're putting the money into. And if you have enough money buffering around you before you go invest money, right? So I really wanted to continue to emphasize the importance of making sure you have enough money around you and also you have a clear understanding of what investment you are doing, right? Because think about it, 28% return every month. There is no way possible it can be sustainable. There's no way. I don't know any investment on this planet that can give you that consistently. You hear about Bitcoin, you hear about real estate, you hear about this and that. There is no way anybody can pay you 28%. Even 15% every single month guarantee is impossible. Every investment, I don't care what it is, has the right season and the wrong season. And every investment, if you look at actual investment portfolio or performance, every investment at some point in history has gone down significantly. Whether it's real estate, whether it's stocks, whether it's bonds, whether it's business, whatever. They all have their seasons where they perform good and where they perform bad, right? So there's no way, say, you can go down and believe somebody tell you 80%. I'll just go jump and go invest in it. So please, be very careful and be very mindful how and where you invest your hard-earned money. Please.
Yeah, my man share a way like a one my dad passed no sika kakra na wo for my mom to live on. And also tis Ghana she had one, which is almost 35%. She got all excited, didn't tell anyone. Who lady wouldn't name anything. Not Tamsike Edokoto, your friends say, the first 2 months she was able to get that, she was all excited. And she was so crying out command is because no, I'm okay. Then the bank, folded. Then these old ladies now, started crying. Or could that bank hold for 2 days trying to retrieve her money, but she couldn't. Sika a poppy Nina gone just within a year there. And see, maybe a year for the year can we are spending more time on this way, trying to give the fundamentals near the end. It's all because of the mistakes that has been made in the past. And Sanya brother, I see you greed into ama debiano. We don't seek like the right channels need to do the right things, but we follow obia the we get into it, then we lose yes security. Before you go into how, when, and all this, we want all of us to know all this basic understanding. Is investment is not for everybody. How much I make, maybe cannot afford me to invest in AE. So let me save a little bit and live comfortably now, because the risk involved in investment, maybe maybe based on my case, I have access to invest in. You're spending more time with the next time you wish you say, if you go how, when, but now we are hoping, say, you better na yes but you better take some clues in the lessons be from near the boy.
Yeah, that your kind is very important. Power idea. Now, I say, yeah, we want to make money faster. You be see Jessica and then it's yeah. And see and put their money there. If it's there, you may be missing out. Now, organizations are they can give you 20%, 30%, whatever percentage, you so know as bait. Because let's say you're making me attracting more people. Some more people, the first few weeks, or few months, they'll be able to pay those people. More career, yeah, then never be the music beguma, no more piano, no more tune, no more the call. And as I said, we need to be vigilant. When I say obey vigilant, because any party they are there to make money. And it is a one Uzika cry that why Sabi would be sure you don't know man who bushano. What about be a dinokwa? And as I say, yeah, very careful, because people are out there just to exploit and take advantage of any power, how many experience and how many financial knowledge. Now, back one person can say before class of obey investment, Dr. Wack can say you need to know your risk. When people who are they can sleep if they lose all their money today. They can still be fine. Obisu lose 10% the person's money. Any power could that the person will be rushed to Kolebu. Emergency 911 will come today. It won't pass. Investment may not be for you. And I say there's some type of investment a year for you. And don't do it because of say everybody is doing it. If it's a one who's low risk. Now one year, and you need to be very careful about that as well.
Yeah, very. And it's very important. Once again, that's why anytime I sit with anybody or I talk to anybody about investments, I always ask them, and I always give scenarios or examples. That helps me as an advisor to see what their level of tolerance is when it comes to investing. And you will be shocked. And you ask them in that scenario, hey, if I lose one, I'll go crazy. Then that person, you know exactly, this person right here, you have to be careful. Because as an advisor, I also want to be able to sleep better at night, right? So if I know somebody is a conservative investor, and then even though I know I can help them make more money, I take their money and I put it into an aggressive investment. Now, I know that by all means, at some point, they'll call me crying and I won't be able to sleep. And I always, even suitability, when it comes to investing, suitability is a major concept in finance. Suitability, because your investments has to match what the client's investor profile is. So if somebody is a conservative investor, as an advisor, you can't put their money in an aggressive portfolio because it can cause major issues. And as Brother SM and Brother Asiedu mentioned, not everybody can invest money, right? But the challenge also comes now. It's hard to build long-lasting wealth without investing money, right? Because saving money cannot build you wealth. See, even though there is no risk or there is no a risk when it comes to saving your money in a bank loan, your money is not safe from all risk. There is something called inflation risk. That can also even be more lethal because why? If you have $10,000 in your account today, inflation right now is almost 5%. So that means if your money is sitting in the bank account and they are paying you 0.05% per year, and inflation is 5% per year, and your money is also being taxed every year, Charlie, well, how far can your money go if the money is sitting in a bank account? So even though you may be conservative, you still need to find a way to be able to invest somehow, some way. But what you are investing in may differ based on what kind of investor you are. And that all comes from knowing yourself and also seeking counsel and knowing and understanding what investments are out there that may be suitable for you. Because what's suitable for me or Brother Asiedu or Brother Ebenezer may not be suitable for you. Me, I'm an aggressive investor. I can invest money today, tomorrow, I lose $10,000, $20,000. I won't blink twice. Because why? I know I can make up that money in a month or so. That's just me, right? But you might not be in that same situation, right? So you always have to assess your situation and figure out what can I do that can allow me to be able to sleep good at night, but I also know, I'm able to build wealth for the future, right? And once again, it all comes from knowing yourself, knowing the plan, your objective, and exactly what you're trying to achieve when it comes to investing money.
Hello, Abusiama Meno Nchase Modebie. Eye Nagaku 2021 convention. So nimse enfiemi enubia North America Ghanaian Adventist Choir Union. Eye convention ede enyom dwumadie sonko ebreye. Na afiwe die no die. Hey onuawa mabidi awa hawo. Dwumadie no be frase on the Friday 8th of October to
Kosuanati era one radio empenyini say yensoma na motenten yesoma banyasafo
Atiefo ebeda mo ase yako commercial kakra se ne beye na die koso no ewo era one no muso wetimi anya chefa ewo mu bi Enti no said ya can I think say time no ya so me che bia de beba ya wie ya ni abo program it offer. Enti na de ya hwe the basis, the fundamentals. And we need to put together and we need to understand before kana ya core investment so kra no we ya dia a key say tiase because ya anti no na se a na se core investment mu a e be ye nyema bebre and intimacy say wo question bia e wo comment bia you can put it in the chat. Dr. Boysen aka bibi wa ha bese me or say after Peram in Ghana decades ago and one recently, our eyes should be widely open. But this is a share history near share the sea or Ghana and even Kruma Hakrano companies here go near there. Our eyes should be widely open. Send a bayana ya young mistakes are independent binum ayada na your home uncle chile. And you know, Yabema, I think they are summarizing the Yakan until. There's the final thought to be able to media about.
Yeah, the other
you're wrapping up the program number 8. Now, me advance next week, you know, now you're saying at us.
Yes, Panim that's it. That's the yeah, kind of chat on is investment a broad topic. Investment a complicated. So one tiasi who name what to do, seek an expert advice. And for seeker, don't follow or be as someone or can. A lot of us these days, you follow social media. Oh, no be the be able to say anything. But as we speak right now, social comment box will be the be able to about Bitcoin. Near the people are seeking your friends and call for a year right now. It's one year careful. Would you seek at the akoshe be more? At the end of it, we will lose you seeker. Sika crabio. What they to her for? Woni wa busia from way na sika na santi ats for the air can say kakra bia wukram bia no hwe fanema tutu yie wonti ase seek a professional help na omo dance ubedi social media ene wadanfo bi de okan ye ubedi akire na wakoluzu sika no ase
That's Dr. Final thought to be Anna.
Yeah, you know, the question, that whole point about Bitcoin, it's funny. That is the #1 investment topic that when I get calls, especially from the African community, it's about that topic, Bitcoin. So I think, as we progress on, as the weeks come, we should spend a lot of time to talk about that particular investment because I see a lot of people making a lot of mistakes when it comes to that. So all in all, to summarize, I just want to say that please, before you think about investing money, make sure you check your financial fitness, do a budget, do checks and balances, look at your income, look at your expenses, and figure out, am I in a financial position to be able to invest money? If it's no, maybe not right now, but maybe a year or two, I'll be in a better place to be able to invest money. Maybe I have a lot of debt. Does it make sense for me to go invest in any investment? Or maybe should I focus on paying down my debt? These are all the things and questions you be able to ask yourself. And always, 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 no matter what investment, always seek counsel because it is a biblical concept. Seek counsel before you take or make a decision. That's what I want to add to summarize.
Yes, a part of your tier for better must say a time and I break everyone or more program be I actually shed Yama your divine connection. Dr. Boysen also the Bray and your Hope series and your Kobe newspaper and also by Waria Moon Semajo to any of showers of lesson the same enemy see my phone any man and I homeda teach and also ever and systemly a bush and systemly and so at the program eba it ye can say yen koswana yen tie yen fe afidie no ento era 1 na and some era 1 send ye be now so me enya bi e tie for ye dam asese na so munya adaje na mutie ye de ye kan say dem ye tie ye mfanya adwuma not just say ye be kan sa keke ne afiri ha it ye di nyame gya mu nyina nyame ya aduma next week the same time 6 p.m. on Monday ye be Asia yɛde nyame gya mu nti Dr. Wa yɛbɛde wa na Professor Ebenezer Siam also so yɛbɛde wa se he said mode mani mo nyame ne wada agya bɛtɔ ɛbɛka yɛ ho program yi ho nyame nko so anhyia me yɛde nyame gya mu nyinaa
Samupe Sampa Bietia Chimafidi Nunkotu Era One Radio Samupe Jumpa Bietia Chimafidi Nunkotu Era One Radio Oh Ayum Pamchima Chintu Asam Pamchima Era one, you never know.